Have you ever wondered why certain people become millionaires effortlessly, while others constantly grind without ever achieving financial freedom? Is it luck, talent, or maybe something deeper? Here's the surprising truth. It's all about the mindset, specifically the millionaire mindset built by Stoicism. But can a philosophy that's thousands of years old really help you form elite financial habits today? The answer is a definite yes. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how some of the world's wealthiest individuals have quietly harnessed Stoicism to skyrocket their success. You might think Stoicism is about living a dull life, free from emotions or luxuries. But what if I told you that Stoicism actually teaches you how to fully enjoy life's pleasures without ever becoming enslaved by them? Imagine having wealth, success, and freedom, but without the constant anxiety, greed, or fear of losing everything. Marcus Aurelius, the ancient Roman emperor and dedicated Stoic, famously said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Think about that for a second. Your financial future doesn't hinge on external factors like market fluctuations or economic conditions. It's primarily driven by your internal thought patterns and habits. But how exactly does this translate into building millionaire habits practically? Great question. It all begins with a powerful Stoic technique called mindful detachment. Now, mindful detachment isn't about not caring or becoming emotionally numb. Instead, it means clearly recognizing what's in your control and what's not, then focusing exclusively on the controllable. Think of how often you get stressed over financial news, market dips, or even the success of others. But here's the critical point. You have zero control over these things. Stoics don't waste their energy on worry. They invest it in deliberate, powerful action. Take Elon Musk as a real-world example. Elon openly uses principles similar to Stoicism, especially when navigating high-risk ventures like Tesla and SpaceX. He once said, "I think it's important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better." This habit of constant mindful self-assessment is exactly what Stoicism teaches. Imagine if you did the same, regularly reflecting on your financial decisions, investments, or business strategies. How much clearer and more effective would your financial habits become? But here's the twist. Mindful detachment is just the beginning. Another critical Stoic habit, and perhaps the single most influential on long-term financial success, is strategic simplicity. You've likely heard Warren Buffett say, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." This isn't just catchy advice, it's pure Stoicism. Buffett built his entire fortune on the Stoic principle of strategic simplicity. He intentionally keeps his investments incredibly straightforward. He avoids chasing trends, complicated financial products, or flashy startups. Instead, Buffett deeply understands a small number of companies he invests in, then patiently lets time compound his wealth. Ask yourself this: how many times have you chased the latest financial craze or impulsively spent money because something seemed exciting or promising in the moment? Now imagine the powerful habit of consistently choosing simple, clearly understood investments and financial decisions. But now you're probably wondering, if simplicity is so effective, why don't more people use it? Well, here's the uncomfortable truth. Simplicity is deceptively difficult because it requires discipline, patience, and clarity. Exactly the habits Stoicism builds. This brings us right into another essential Stoic practice: voluntary discomfort. At first glance, it might sound intimidating or counterintuitive. But what if voluntary discomfort actually accelerated your path to wealth and freedom? Stoics, including Marcus, Aurelius, and Seneca, regularly practiced brief, intentional moments of simplicity or discomfort, maybe sleeping on a hard bed occasionally, fasting for a short period, or temporarily reducing comforts. Why? Because by deliberately stepping out of your comfort zone, you build immense self-control, resilience, and clarity. Exactly the habits millionaires rely on to maintain wealth and handle financial challenges. Tim Ferriss, best-selling author and investor, openly credits Stoic-style voluntary discomfort for sharpening his business decisions and boosting his resilience. Ferriss occasionally goes days without certain conveniences, resetting his perspective and teaching him to appreciate and fully leverage the resources he already has. Imagine applying this practice in your own life. Maybe once a month, you avoid unnecessary spending for a few days, temporarily cutting back on luxuries. It sounds strange, but this tiny habit quickly strengthens your financial discipline, making every future spending decision clearer, calmer, and infinitely smarter. But here's an even bigger question. Why do these elite habits really matter for you? Because at the end of the day, financial freedom isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's about genuine peace of mind, resilience, and the ability to fully control your financial destiny, regardless of external circumstances. Now here's something shocking. Almost all self-made millionaires consistently practice at least one Stoic habit, even if they never label it as Stoicism. Whether it's mindful detachment, strategic simplicity, or voluntary discomfort, these elite habits quietly power their financial decisions, discipline, and lasting success. And in just a moment, I'll reveal exactly how you can start using these powerful Stoic techniques today to rapidly transform your financial habits. But first, I have a question for you. If these Stoic principles are so powerful and proven by some of the world's wealthiest people, why isn't everyone using them to achieve financial freedom? The answer to this critical question might surprise you, and it could completely change the way you think about wealth. Let's dive deeper right now. Here's a fascinating truth most people never consider. The reason not everyone leverages Stoicism for financial freedom isn't because it doesn't work. It's because Stoic strategies require consistency, self-reflection, and patience. These are traits that seem simple, yet few actually develop them fully. Let me show you exactly how you can master these millionaire habits starting today and experience for yourself the transformative power of Stoicism. First, let's return quickly to the idea of strategic simplicity we mentioned earlier. Remember Warren Buffett's approach? He famously said, "I never invest in anything I don't clearly understand." The next time you're tempted to jump into a trendy investment or complicated financial opportunity, pause. Ask yourself, do I deeply understand how this works and how exactly it benefits me in the long run? If the answer is anything other than a confident yes, walk away. This simple habit alone will protect your wealth, save you stress, and multiply your chances of lasting financial success. But how do you develop the discipline to consistently apply strategic simplicity? This is where another powerful Stoic practice comes in: daily journaling. Marcus Aurelius, despite managing an entire empire, consistently took time each day to reflect in writing. He clarified his thoughts, reviewed his decisions, and kept himself accountable. What if you did something similar, but specifically focused on your financial habits? Imagine writing down every day just one sentence about your most important financial decision. Over time, you'd quickly notice patterns, strengths, and areas needing improvement. This single habit can help you identify and eliminate costly emotional decisions, strengthening your strategic simplicity. Now let's talk about another critical Stoic strategy: cognitive distancing. Sounds fancy, right? But it's actually incredibly simple and powerful. Cognitive distancing simply means stepping back emotionally from your immediate reactions to gain clearer perspective. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio consistently practices this exact habit. He's known for calmly stepping away from stressful financial situations to analyze them logically. Next time you're facing a big financial decision, try this simple cognitive distancing trick. Take one step back and ask yourself, how would I advise a close friend to handle this? By momentarily detaching from the emotional aspect, your answers become clearer and smarter. You avoid impulsive spending or risky investments that seem enticing emotionally, but financially dangerous in reality. Now here's another key Stoic habit that directly supports millionaire mindset: gratitude. Wait, gratitude? How could that possibly relate to wealth building? Here's the surprising truth. Consistent gratitude reinforces a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. This abundance mindset makes you calmer and more confident financially, empowering you to take smart, strategic risks. Oprah Winfrey, one of the richest self-made billionaires, openly credits daily gratitude journaling as one of her most powerful wealth-building practices. Each day, she writes down just 3 things she appreciates deeply. Why? Because gratitude keeps you grounded, clear-headed, and emotionally resilient. Exactly the traits millionaires cultivate to sustain long-term wealth. Imagine applying this yourself. Each night before bed, jot down 3 financial or personal things you're genuinely grateful for. Maybe steady income, financial lessons learned, or simply your ability to earn. Notice how quickly your financial mindset shifts from stress and fear to confidence and clarity. Now let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Saul, and I've personally experienced how adopting these Stoic habits dramatically elevated my financial situation and emotional well-being. A few years back, I felt financially stuck, constantly stressed, reacting emotionally to every market change. Then, after adopting daily journaling and cognitive distancing, I saw my financial clarity and income skyrocket within months. So here's my honest challenge to you. What if you committed to practicing just 2 Stoic habits consistently for the next 30 days? Imagine combining daily journaling with strategic simplicity, or gratitude with cognitive distancing. Could you see how quickly your financial decisions would improve? But let's take this even deeper. There's another critical Stoic principle that binds all these millionaire habits together: action over intention. Seneca, one of Stoicism's richest philosophers, famously said, "While we wait for life, life passes." Stoicism isn't about passively thinking or wishing. It's about deliberate, disciplined action. How many times have you learned a powerful financial strategy but never applied it? Stoicism reminds us that true wisdom isn't knowing, it's doing. And here's the good news: action doesn't need to be massive or complicated. It just needs to be consistent. So right now, think of one simple, actionable step you can take today that aligns with your financial goals. Maybe it's starting your financial journal tonight, evaluating a current investment objectively, or just deciding to pause before making any impulsive purchases this week. Just one action, repeated consistently, becomes the powerful habit driving you toward millionaire success. But perhaps the most transformative Stoic habit for building wealth is something rarely talked about: cultivating emotional resilience through negative visualization. It might sound strange at first, but trust me, this habit has quietly powered some of the world's wealthiest entrepreneurs through financial storms. Negative visualization simply means briefly imagining possible financial setbacks, not to scare yourself, but to build mental preparedness and resilience. Think about it. Markets fluctuate, businesses face challenges, and unexpected expenses occur. But what if you mentally rehearsed how you'd calmly handle these scenarios? Instead of panic, you'd respond strategically, turning setbacks into new opportunities. Jeff Bezos has openly talked about using this Stoic-inspired technique to anticipate business challenges. Imagine how powerful your financial mindset would become if you regularly practiced negative visualization. Instead of fearing uncertainty, you'd confidently navigate it, fully prepared and resilient. Ultimately, building millionaire habits through Stoicism comes down to small, consistent, and strategic actions like daily journaling, strategic simplicity, cognitive distancing, gratitude, and negative visualization. Each habit individually is powerful, but combined, they form an unstoppable system for financial mastery. So here's my final question to you. Now that you clearly see how Stoicism practically builds elite millionaire habits, will you commit to applying these principles consistently in your own financial journey? Because remember, wealth isn't just money in your bank account. True wealth is clarity, resilience, emotional mastery, and financial freedom built deliberately over time. The power to create this kind of wealth is now clearly in your hands.